Hey, hey, what's up, everybody? My name is J. Marie, and this is Just Finances. Welcome to my channel where I discuss paying off debt, saving, and investing to ultimately build wealth and become financially free. So, if this is the type of content that you guys rock with, I would really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Also, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with others that may find my content helpful. All right, let's get into it. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the steps to take once you become debt free. Now, first things first, I want to say congratulations, sis, you did that. Nobody can ever say you wasn't dedicated and consistent to your mission and you got it done. So also make sure that after it's all said and done that you celebrate yourself, because this is no small feat. So make sure you celebrate yourself. All right, now, once that high is over, it's time to get back to business. Please keep in mind, becoming debt free does not guarantee that you're going to ultimately build wealth and be wealthy. That's up to you to take that next step. Now, with that being said, the very first step that I recommend is knowing your why. Why did you ultimately want to get out of debt and become debt free? Think about that first. I know for me, I wanted to be debt free because I was in a job that I didn't like, couldn't stand, didn't want to be there. And I knew becoming debt free would lessen my bills and would give me more options and choices of where I wanted to work or to leave a job when I was no longer satisfied. So that was my why. Now make sure you discover yours. Now, after you've discovered your why, the next step is to start building back up your security. And when I say that, I mean it's time to start rebuilding that emergency fund. Now, I recommend you put at least 3 to 6 months into a high yield savings account that's going to get you some interest on the money that's sitting there. And also that 3 to 6 months will cover your expenses in the case of a job loss, your car breaks down, anything like that. It'll cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. Now, I know y'all might be thinking, that is a little bit of money, I get that, so it's gonna take a little bit of time. But now that you no longer have debt, those same payments that you were putting into your debt payments is those same payments you can now start using to rebuild that emergency fund. So it should happen even that much faster. So that's gonna be your first step, is rebuilding an emergency fund. You can call it a rainy day fund, an FU fund, whatever you want to call it. But just start putting money towards that to give you a sense of security. Because at this point, we're not going back into debt. Not if we don't need to. Not if we got something put aside that we can dip into when something happens. So first step, make sure you start building up that emergency fund. All right, so now that we have our emergency fund situated, the next step is to start dreaming again. Start putting money aside towards something you want to do that's going to better yourself, invest in yourself, something that's going to elevate you to the next level. This can be setting up a separate savings account to take that trip you've been wanting to take, to just unwind and to just get in your best self, your best mode. So that's the second step. Or this can also be investing in a course that's going to help you increase your income, get a better job, or even just start you a side hustle. But make sure that it's something that's going to elevate you to the next level. So that's the second step, is creating a fund to invest in yourself, a dream fund, a splurge fund, whatever you want to call it, just something that's going to better you mentally, spiritually, physically, and of course financially. Second step. Now the third thing I recommend that you guys do, now that you have your security set aside, now that you have an account that's going to help you elevate and better yourself, now it's time to really start letting that money grow, and it's time to start getting into investing. Now, the first type of investment that I would recommend, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with, it's your employer's 401k. Now, a lot of companies, they'll offer a match on whatever you match. Some companies, they may match you up to 6% as long as you contribute 6%. So start doing some research on what your company offers in terms of their 401k. After you've done your research, definitely take that next step and start putting money into that 401k, and it's automatic. Every time you get paid, your employer will just take that amount of money out of your paycheck before you even see it. So start doing that. That's the next step. Now, some of you may not be employed, or you don't want to tie your money up with your employer. And I completely understand that. So next step, if you're not looking to invest with your employer, you can also invest in your own by opening up your own separate account with one of the brokerage firms. You can do anywhere from a Roth IRA or an individual brokerage account. With a Roth IRA, that stands for individual retirement account. There's a traditional IRA and there's a Roth IRA. I personally recommend a Roth IRA because when you contribute money to that, you can't touch it technically, your gains on it until you're 59 and a half. But of course, there are ways around that. I'm not going to get into that right now. But with the Roth IRA, anything you put in there and the gains that you receive on there, when it's time to start withdrawing that during your retirement, all of that money, the gains and everything is completely tax-free. They tax it up front so they don't have to tax it later. So that's one way you can invest on your own. Another way is to open up your own brokerage account. What that is you can open up an account with like a Fidelity, a Charles Schwab, a Vanguard, to where this is your own personal investment account. There's no limit to the amount of money you can put in this account, and you have complete control. But you also have to be aware of the tax implications if you take this money out. Not going to get into that right now either. I'm just telling you those are the type of investment accounts that you can use. So now, just to recap. Hey guys, before this recap starts, my mistake. There are 4 tips that I recommend when you're getting out of debt. These are the 3 coming up. However, the very first tip is always to know your why. So keep that in mind. Sorry about that, guys. But there are 4 tips. First one is know your why. The second one is start to build your emergency fund for security. The third one is to start to dream again and put money aside towards elevating yourself. And the fourth one is ultimately getting into making your money grow by investing. Thank you. Just to recap, these are the main 3 things I want you guys to do once you become debt free. First thing, put aside that security because we're not going back into debt. Second step is begin to dream again and think about the things you wanted to do while you were in debt and the things that are going to help elevate you to the next level. Whether that's starting an account so that you can go on a nice vacation, starting that account so you can invest in a course or go back to school, something that's going to get you to the next level, increase your income, learn a new skill. And then the third thing is it's time to start letting that money grow. And you can do this with multiple options. You can start investing in your employer's 401k. You can start investing outside your employer with a Roth IRA or a brokerage account where you have more access and control over your money. So now these are the 3 tips I recommend after you become debt free. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. I appreciate you watching, and until next time, thank you.